Did you know? There are celestial beings with 6 wings, eyes all around, and a mysterious presence that echoes through ancient texts. Who are these enigmatic figures known as the Cherubim and Seraphim? The Cherubim and Seraphim are often depicted as guardians of the divine, each with distinct roles and appearances. Let's unravel their mysteries through biblical and ancient Jews' apocryphal references. First, let's begin with the Cherubim, who are the guardians of the sacred. In the Bible, cherubim are first mentioned in Genesis 3 verse 24. It says, "So he drove out the men, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim, and a flaming sword which turned every way, to keep the way of the tree of life." Amen. Cherubim are one of the highest ranking of angels in the Christian angel hierarchy, second only to the seraphim. Their rank among angels is uncertain, but they are always categorized in the first sphere. Some believe them to be an order or class of angels, others hold them to be a class of heavenly beings higher than angels. Prophet Ezekiel describes the cherubim as a tetrad of living creatures, each having 4 faces, of a lion, an ox, an eagle, and a man. They are said to have the stature and hands of a man, the feet of a calf, and 4 eye-covered wings. 2 of the wings extended upward, meeting above and sustaining the throne of God, while the other 2 stretched downward and covered the creatures themselves. They are usually portrayed as having lower humanoid bodies or even one that resembles a sphinx. Some, however, have no lower bodies at all, instead having a human-shaped head in the center surrounded by 4 wings with its 3 animalistic faces positioned in the direction of those wings. It is even believed that Samael, or Satan, before his fall from heaven, was a high-ranking cherubim, a prince of the heavenly sphere, and was the first to be created of the choir. This is hinted at the fact that the devil possesses 3 faces in his demonic form, which also shows his appearance and status as a cherubim has become twisted and corrupted after the fall. The cherubim are tasked with guarding the Garden of Eden, acting as guard dogs, in Mephistopheles' words, and would be stationed atop of the walls encircling the garden with 2 larger ones by the gates alongside Uriel. In the beginning, the cherubim were not given such a task, instead they simply sang about God's glory and majesty similarly to the seraphim, and even held up his throne. It was not until Adam and Eve fell into temptation that the cherubim were then charged with guarding Eden. This increase in security was likely due to Satan's managing of infiltrating the garden to tempt Adam and Eve, thus extra precautions were required. These creatures serve as protectors of sacred spaces, embodying divine strength and vigilance. Some of the most known cherubim includes Angel Jophiel, Samael before his fall to become Satan, and Asmodeus, who is also fallen deity and among the 7 princes of hell. Next we have the Seraphim, who are known as the fiery ones. Seraphim are introduced in the book of Isaiah 6 verse 2, which says, "Above him were seraphim, each with 6 wings, with 2 wings they covered their faces, with 2 they covered their feet, and with 2 they were flying." Amen. Seraphim or seraph are the highest choir of angels in heaven, being the closest to God alongside the first 5 archangels, whom are also seraphim themselves. It is said that the seraphim flew about the throne on which God was seated, singing his praises as they called special attention to God's glory and majesty. These beings apparently also served as agents of purification. An ancient Judean seal from the 8th century BCE depicts them as flying asps, yet having human characteristics, as encountered by Isaiah in his commissioning as a prophet. Seraphim are known to defy the laws of the universe when commanded, such as when one placed a hot coal against Isaiah's lips with the words, "See, this has touched your lips, your guilt is taken away and your sin atoned for." It did not burn him, but instead healed. Similar to the other types of holy angels, the seraphim are perfectly obedient to God. Similar to the cherubim, the seraphim are particularly focused on worshiping God. The seraphim are the highest angelic beings associated with the prophet Isaiah's vision of God in the temple when God called him to his prophetic ministry. They are described as having 6 wings, with 2 wings covering their faces, 2 covering their feet, and 2 used for flight. Their voices are also said to be powerful enough to fatally kill a mere human and shatter glass. It is said that before his fall from grace, Lucifer the morning star was once a seraphim himself and a prince of the choir. Tradition places seraphim in the highest rank in Christian angelology and in the 5th rank of 10 in the Jewish angelic hierarchy. A seminal passage in the book of Isaiah used the term to describe 6-winged beings that fly around the throne of God singing, "Holy, holy, holy." This throne scene, with its triple invocation of holiness, profoundly influenced subsequent theology, literature, and art. Its influence is frequently seen in works depicting angels, heaven, and apotheosis. Some of the most known seraphim are archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. It is also believed that Lucifer the morning star and Beelzebub the lord of flies were once also seraphim before their fall from glory. Beyond the Bible, apocryphal texts like the Book of Enoch offer additional glimpses into these beings. The cherubim are portrayed as closer to the divine throne, while the seraphim are often seen as agents of divine justice and purification. The imagery of cherubim and seraphim inspires awe and reflection. They represent themes of protection, holiness, and the awe-inspiring nature of the divine. Artists and theologians have interpreted these beings in various ways, from majestic protectors to fiery purifiers. As we close the book on these celestial mysteries, consider this: what other secrets might the heavens hold, waiting for us to uncover? Stay tuned for more explorations into the wonders that lie beyond our earthly understanding. Like, share and subscribe for more.